Shaun!
I wouldn't want to go any harder than that.
Whoa! Everything just went kapooey then.
Hey, Shaun, this track, well, there isn't a track, mate.
This is backcountry wheeling, Cape York style. We are in the heart of gold country, trying to find a new route through the hills to the historic Old Coach Road.
We've never done this before. We don't know what's ahead. Strap yourselves in.
Oh.
But soon enough, our trip turns from exploration to survival.
Pretty gnarly little situation.
How much is broken, do you think?
The best kind of adventure in my books starts with a few beers at a local watering hole, and the Mount Carbine Hotel makes for the perfect place to kick off our journey.
Well, mate, Southern Cape, something a bit different this year.
I know, as soon as you get out of Cairns, get over the tablelands and all that sort
normally
of
you
stuff.
just storm off.
Exactly right, but we like to take things a little bit slower and, you know, explore the places that not many people go to.
Okay, folks, to give you a rough idea, we're going from Mount Carbine all the way through to Laura, the back way, out the back, over the ranges, rocks, rock art apparently as well.
Rock art. Wow.
Apparently.
Wow.
Folks,
We're going to see it all.
we've never done this before. We don't know what's ahead. Strap yourselves in. Another beer?
Yeah, cheers, mate. Your shit.
Oh, why is it always my shout?
A classic country pub and a bar full of good mates is a recipe for a night to remember. But we can't wait for the morning and the chance to explore the wilderness that makes up the Palmer River region. And next day, we're up early and soon heading off the beaten track towards some tracks that we've got exclusive access to, thanks to our mate Tony.
Anthony, down the back of the convoy in the dust. Mate, what have you got in store for us?
The Western Yalanji fellas have given us some access here, so we're going to take a route more from the southwest, and yeah, it should be good. Cross a couple of rivers and hit some good tracks.
Anthony not only offers four-wheel drive training and tours in the Cairns and Cape region, he also gets access to some wicked spots in the Cape.
The route ahead is going to take us through station properties, Indigenous managed land, and even a secret inland lagoon, as we try and find a way to the Old Coach Road through the heart of the Goldfields country.
All right, 22 PSI. It's about do me, I think.
Joining us for this adventure is Az from Mitts Alloy and Reuben from DMW Industries. They're both going to be living it up large in some smick rigs, and just like us, they're frothing to get into it. The first step in this journey is to push out west out the back of Calmer Water Station. After a few hours of dusty roads, we're up on the start of the tracks.
The hills and valleys of this region are not just littered with the promise of gold, but also with numerous tracks to follow. Every ridge seems to have a trail running along it, but most of these lines are little more than goat tracks, pushed in and then often abandoned over more than 100 years of gold prospecting. They twist and they turn back on themselves, with many leading to dead ends. So we're going to be navigating our way north using a series of pins that we've been given, and really gut feeling.
We really are just following the bonnet of our vehicles here and seeing what we can find. Very cool. Holy moly.
No second gear, and just stand on it if we need to. Yeah, that's steep.
Far to the north on our maps is a track we know will take us to the Old Coach Road, but in the country that lies between, the maps go blank. And right through the middle runs a huge barrier, a creek system we're going to have to try and find a way across to continue north. We're off the maps now and following our noses as we look for the best option to cross that creek. And soon enough, we reckon we might have found a spot that could be our best chance of a crossing. This might look like a road, but it's actually an excavator line to access the creek. Still, we can see evidence of tracks continuing on the other side of the valley, so it's worth a crack.
Wow, is that soft. Hey, Shaun, this track, well, there isn't a track, mate.
Yeah, I think you just need to follow your nose and maybe follow this creek a little bit too.
Mate, I might pull up here because I've got a big body of water in front of me.
Have a look at this, eh? That's pretty wild.
This is looking, well, it's looking a little sketchy, but if we can hug that right-hand bank, we should be able to join up with that promising-looking track further up the creek.
Righto, the birds are coming off, things are getting serious. Something tells me I'll be wading in with a winch rope pretty soon because up ahead looks pretty gnarly.
This could be very soft. It looks a bit hairy going. I might get a bit of a momentum up. Holy heck. Wow, there's mud coming in. That's pretty soft in there, eh?
Shaun's tried to follow my lead, but yeah, things have not exactly gone to plan.
Bogged. Yeah, you might have to get me out backwards, I think. Well, the track has sort of disappeared, and I saw Graham go through. It was quite soft where he was, so I didn't want to go in his wheel rut, so I went a little bit deeper, but turns out it was even softer. I've gone straight down, full on.
Man, that's soft.
Let's take up this tension, mate.
Well, that's significantly softer than I thought. I was that close to going down myself, but I just kind of backed off and let it coast along the top. What worries me is we've got another 30 metres we've got to get through up here to keep going. Gonna have to walk it and see how soft it's gonna be.
Right, let's have another go a bit higher on the bank, I think. Woohoo! That's soft.
Right, Shaun, I got stuck on that one, so this, and give it a bit of the berries. Oh, there we go. That's the go. There we go. That's how we do it.
Oh, the sooty boy. Well, Reuben's going to take a bit of a different line. He's going to come deeper into the water because it's got a lot of rocks on the bottom. Near the edges, there's a lot of mud, so let's hope it pays off.
Wish me luck. Oh, it looks sloppy.
Easy. Easy.
Yeah! Oh, too easy.
We're all through the first section, but up ahead, things look a lot more challenging.
It's hard to know where to enter. It's just so soft.
To continue on the right-hand side of the creek, we're going to have to cross over the water and back again, and this could turn into a bit of a mission.
This could be the bogging of the century.
Yeah. And it's that deep enough as well. When you go down half a tyre width down,
You're under.
you're going to have water in your doors.
Yeah.
We're pretty early into this trip, and no one wants to flood their rig if they can help it. And after walking the whole thing, we've decided we're going to need to find a better crossing option somewhere else along the creek. And that means for now, unfortunately, we've got to backtrack. Az is the first to try out the return line and has opted for the same option Reuben took the other way.
Oh, yeah, baby. There we go. That is the go.
Shaun's trying to find a clean line, but almost gets caught off guard on the exit.
That was pretty loose, mate. Put it there.
Good work, mate.
Wow. I thought for a second, my face just went.
What's the funny?
Yeah. I got scared for just a split second in the middle there. I thought, that's not going to work.
Oh, nice work, mate. You're through now.
We'll drop into this creek with some gusto, I think. Just. What's that? All of these big trucks go through and they've just churned the bottom up in here, so I don't know how I'm going to go. We'll give it a red hot shot.
I've gone for a middle line through this one, but I've misjudged a bit and caught some wheel ruts. And just like that, I'm stuck.
And it's my birthday.
Lucky for me, the boys are straight onto it and have the runver connected up to the back of the Y62 in no time.
Well, that didn't quite work out. We thought we were so close, being able to follow the creek, because where we need to get to is just around the bend up there, but it's just too deep, so we've had to turn around. I guess just find another way over these hills. In this day and age, it's not often you get the chance to not have a map to follow. And while we might not have found our crossing yet, this is exactly the kind of challenge that makes adventures like this just so much fun.
Holy heck!
I'll have to gas it to get through this, I reckon. Second, maybe even third here.
Holy heck!
Hey, Shaun, she looks pretty soft there.
That was impressive.
That was super soft. I picked the wrong gear too, and I just started going down.
Oh, the skin of his teeth.
3-point turn.
And that's the point for that one, Az.
There we go.
Boy, Reuben, I don't reckon you've got enough power to get through there, eh?
Every time I hear that thing, I think it's a Mazda 5.
Mazda 3. Holy my days.
Only just, boys, only just made it.
So, crossing number 1 was a no-go. After a bit of backtracking and poking the 4Bs down some side tracks, we've found what looks to be another promising option. The creek here is pretty easy to cross, and again, there's some telltale vehicle signs to follow. But this time, we're not sure if there's a linking track on the other side. It's hard to believe, but all of these rocks are the leavings from prospectors digging along the creeks in search for gold, and it makes for some pretty interesting wheeling. At first, this track seemed promising, but we soon realised that all the exits are looping back to where we started, and what we thought was a crossing is just the end of an excavator trail, with some very hectic rocks blocking the path.
Once again, the creek has foiled us, and pushing north looks like it could be a lot harder than we bargained for. Now, without the magic of editing, following your nose along K's and K's of rocky mountainous country full of turnbacks and dead ends takes time. Lots of time. And after 2 days of searching, we're still on the wrong side of this creek. The track we need to join up with is tantalisingly close, but so far we've not found a way to meet it.
Mate, it's taken us 1, 2, 3, 4. This is our 5th go of getting onto there.
It's on the map, we're talking about this much as well. It's about 800 metres as a crow's flies,
Yeah.
but it's almost impenetrable.
Not going that way.
We can't go that way. We might have to backtrack and try and find another. There's the thing around here, there's just so many little
Mining
dirt
tracks
roads.
everywhere.
There's just,
My thoughts are that at some point, if you are mining out this way,
Yep.
you're going to push through to that track. You're not going to go all the way back around here to come onto the main
Sure.
road. So I reckon one of these has got to meet up with that track.
well, I'm keen to turn around and maybe just poke back up that way.
I think so.
And
See what we can
bit of a
find.
left, right, good night, hopefully.
Because we're not going that way, that's what I can tell you for free. Done.
Okay.
All right, let's turn around.
I'll follow you, man.
Sometimes the answer you need is the one you've overlooked, and there's an option we'd at first written off because it looks so overgrown.
Oh my goodness, where's the track gone?
And this might have just proven to be the crossing we needed, because up ahead, what looks to be a possible exit is on the right side of the river.
Oh geez, no one's been out here in a long time. That's for sure.
Here he goes. He's going to get into it. That's it. Up you go.
The exit is tight and overgrown, but it looks to be heading in the direction we're after.
Try not to get this thing bogged. Keep this momentum going. There we go.
This river shale has zero traction in it, and Reuben nearly comes a cropper.
That was not very good, boys.
Give it all you got, old girl.
Anthony might have the hardest run going last, but he sends it through with style.
Yee-hoo-hoo, up you go, baby.
And with that, we're finally over this creek, and there's a track up front that heads away from the creek, and I reckon this time we could be in with a chance.
This particular road right here, even though it's kind of not going in the right direction at the moment, is significantly more driven than the other ones. Just going off gut instinct here, I think this might be the one.
At long last, the goat track we're following links back up the track in our maps, and it looks like we've made it through.
This is us, the main road, mate. We've done it.
I can't believe it, to be honest. That's unbelievable.
The amount of tracks in there from the early miners, if you didn't know what you were doing or sort of halfway knew what you're doing, geez, you'd be lost in there forever.
You know what this means? This means we're one step closer to the big lagoon.
Yes, mate. I've heard reports of barra the size of your leg, red claw the size of your hand.
Well, believe it or not, obviously the barra are a bonus, but it's the red claw I'm really after today.
I've got a sneaky suspicion I know why, mate. Well, we've got a couple of pots. Let's get in there, set up camp, and see what we can do.
The Palmer River region is best known for its mining history and tough rocky tracks, but its spectacular water features are something you hear far less about. But just look at this, folks, absolutely magical, and the perfect campsite is just ahead.
We're incredibly grateful to Tony from Low 4 Offroad for getting us access to this backcountry. But unfortunately, the real world is calling and he's got to head back to work in Cairns.
Tony is a top bloke, and if you're ever up in the far north of Queensland, make sure you hit him up for four-wheel drive tours or even four-wheel drive training. For us though, it's time to get camp set up and make use of the last light of the day to try and rustle up some local delicacies.
Well, how good is this? Camp by the lagoon. Everyone's getting ready here. The boys is preparing. Shauno's getting the old red claw pots ready to go. I think he's going to go and cast a lure or two. I'm going to crack a cold beer. And I might even just cook up a bit of a feast for the boys tonight. I'm feeling a bit generous. So here we go. I'll have a beer first and I'll make a decision.
Righto, setting up the red claw pots now. I've got a combination of lamb chops, sausage mince, as well as sweet potato. And I'm pretty much using everything that's ever been told to me as a possible bait, putting it all together, and surely one of them will work. This is red claw robust right now.
We're a bit early in the season, however we're going to leave our pots in overnight and hopefully tomorrow we'll have a bounty. With the pots set and light fading, it's time to crank up the fire and kick back in this truly stunning back corner of the Cape. And better yet, tomorrow we get to tackle one of the most unique tracks in the Cape.
Well, boys, don't know about you. Actually, I do know. You guys had a ball, and
Good bat time today, man.
it was just unreal. It was tough, sort of negotiating our way through some of those old mining
I didn't
tracks.
think we were going to get through that water in that creek.
At one stage, I thought we're going to be lost out here because there were so many tracks. But here we are. We're at a beautiful camp right next to a lake. Graham's having a bit of a cook up right now, and tomorrow we start the Old Coach Road.
I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, it'll be good. How
Yeah.
mad is that?
Yeah,
Apparently you got something in store for us up the Coach Road as well.
I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag just yet, mate, but I'm just working on it, and hopefully I'm sourcing a couple of ingredients as we speak. But you never know your luck in a big city, so let's have a couple of beers and try and stomach what Raham's got installed.
With the prospect of Shaun's cooking tomorrow, I want to make sure the boys get a real feed tonight. So I'm whipping up some trackside spag bog on the old Mitts canopy.
I overestimated on the quantities here. I've cooked the mother load of spag bog. I'm just going to put the lid on it, let that sit for about 3 beers, and then I'm going to feed the entire Palmer River gold community tonight. I reckon it'll be all right.
Stick around, folks, because there is plenty more adventure left to come. How you going, folks? I hope you are enjoying our Cape app. I know I enjoyed it thoroughly now. Sorry to interrupt your viewing, but I just wanted to let you know that right now there are some insane deals going at 4wheeldrive247.com, all to do with recoveries. What am I talking about? Well, you can save hundreds on Max Tracks and Snatch Recovery Kit combos, as well as 15% off Runva 11 XP winches. Folks, ain't gonna last. Head to 4wheeldrive247.com, grab yourself a bargain. A view like this is not something you'd normally expect to find on a Cape York adventure, but I think you'll agree it's pretty damn specky. This area forms part of Palmerville Station, which offers some unique camping and exploring opportunities if you do your research.
We're now not too far south from the start of the Old Coach Road. I should be able to join up with the main track in a few hours. First though, it's time to take in a breath and enjoy this mint little camp spot. And of course, see if our overnight pots have caught anything good. Right, the moment of truth. We're about to take the pots out of the water and see if we've got any red claw. So maybe cherubin, who knows? But
Fingers crossed.
I really would like a couple because what I want to cook tonight involves a couple of these bad boys. That tiny little cherubin.
Our first pot is not looking too promising, and Shaun is understandably starting to sweat a little.
Heaps of little mini cherubin, like hundreds of them. I think we chose the wrong spot.
At last, though, it looks like we could be onto a winner.
There's heaps of red claw.
That's a decent one.
Yeah, we've got a couple. We've got a couple here. And these are the best red claw efforts we've ever done.
That's cool.
All right, well, things are looking up. We've got a few now. We got a few last night as well in the darkness. We went down and checked them before bed. There's about 8, and look, a couple of them are really quite small, but there's a couple of good sized ones as well. That's a cracker, that one.
That is a good size.
You can put a saddle on even ride him around. That's a real one. Definitely one or two big ones. All right, so little Ziploc bag. We've got them all in there alive. They go straight into the Fulcrum. Nice and cold in there, and that's probably the most humane way to deal with them. I'll go to sleep in about 10 minutes, nice and peacefully, and I'll revisit them tonight when we're having a bit of a cook up. With a dinner ingredient in the bag, it's time to make some tracks. The Old Coach Road is a rocky, rutted little number that can shake every bolt loose on your 4B, so it's worth taking a little extra time to make sure everything is squared away and tied down securely. Here we go! And soon enough, we're back into it, and the access road to the Old Coach is up ahead.
The Old Coach Road runs through the heart of a huge, historic mining area and takes you all the way to the little town of Laura. This place is packed full of mining history, challenging driving and secluded camping, and it starts in earnest once you cross the Palmer River.
Jono, here we go, mate. Start of the track. This river doesn't need an introduction, the mighty Palmer.
Yeah, exactly right, mate. It's a dusty old track, but once you get into the Old Coach Road, mate, it starts to get a bit fun.
Yeah, mate, Old Coach Road never fails to please. This is the very start of it. Oh, Struce, she's bumpy through there. I reckon we get stuck into it.
I'm looking forward to this, mate. You lead on.
Like I said, this part of the world offers a treasure trove of mining history to explore. And at the centre of the region is the historic town site of Maytown, once the beating heart of a thriving gold rush community. All that's left now are some footings and the wide gutters of the main road. But this place holds a glimpse into Australia's own version of the Wild West.
One thing you'll notice about Maytown is a lot of the structures are gone. There's just a tiny bit of evidence of a huge town that was thriving here once. Now, something you guys might have noticed that is completely gone, not just the ruins of Maytown, is the big ruins that were on the side of this vehicle because he managed to damage it up in the Northern Territory. As you can see, it's done an absolute marvellous job getting the big girl back together. Is this the same side? Same vehicle?
It is, mate.
This is amazing. I can't believe it. It looks brand new again. It goes to show though the strength and the quality of these builds. I mean, I saw there was a heck of a lot of damage there, and I saw exactly where the brunt of the impact stopped. Was there anything wrong with the structural integrity of the back of this?
Nothing wrong with the roll bar at all. That's what kept everything together.
Oh, wow. Well, we better saddle up, mate. Let's get out of the sun here and go start the Old Coach Road. First time for you, right?
Yeah, first time.
You're going to love it, mate. You're going to love it.
Now, if you think you've experienced rocky, bumpy and dusty driving, just wait till you've spent a few hours on this track. It's hard to believe that this punishing road was once designed to ferry fully loaded wagons across the hills.
Jeepers creepers.
But these days, it makes for some pretty entertaining driving.
She bouncy up there, Shauno.
Yeah, it looks it, mate. That's what I remember best about the Old Coach Road, mate. You want to make sure all your nuts and bolts are tight.
Yeah, I'll tell you what, some of mine have come undone.
While you might need to drive this track with both hands firmly on the wheel, the country it takes you through is truly stunning. But don't get too distracted, because the rocks and ruts are unrelenting. There's never a dull moment on the Old Coach Road, and up ahead is our first real challenge. Well, this is pretty cool. It's sort of built into the rock here. We've got a nice little washout, and it's going to be one of those real technical drives where you're going to pick your wheel. It's going to be hard for small tyres. I reckon with the right line he'll do this.
All right, I'm going to do a crawly boy.
Yeah, good call, mate. Good call. That's a go. What are you doing, mate? Just slow. No, stop. No, go back. It's a very minute game. You're going way too fast. Slow it right down, mate. Just, you've been out bush for a while, but... Yep. If you look closely, you can see the original cut marks made by wagon wheels over 100 years ago. And today, these lines make for some challenging wheeling. But the D-Max just eats it up. Yeah, boy! Millimetres in that. Yep, that's it. Stop. Oh, so close, it's nearly...
A little bit of rock packing is required for this, but luckily rocks are something that is in no shortage around here.
Too easy. Oh, too easy.
Hey, what about that? Huh?
It's amazing what this vehicle can do. Because Graham can't do anything. The vehicle, unbelievable. What a technical little rock step this one. Should be all right with the bigger tyres.
The 30 flexes like a sick giraffe, and Shaun makes it up this one with no dramas.
Oh, hard on the gear. Jeepers.
There we go, eh?
Now, with a full touring setup on the back, you'd think the 79 might struggle a bit more. But Az has nailed the line and the mitts rig just walks on up.
Lovely line.
Perfect.
It's doing it again.
Good drive.
There we go. That's what I'm talking about, mate.
Big girl. Oh, it's too easy. Too easy.
Very good.
Little rock crawling machine. Who would have thought, eh?
The history on offer to explore in the Palmer River region goes a long way further back than the Gold Rush. And a hidden gem in one of the valleys of the Old Coach Road is a piece of preserved Indigenous history that has to be seen to be believed. Tony has hooked us up with the local TO and tour guide, Johnny, who's given us permission to film a very unique piece of Indigenous history.
Yeah, so this country here, this is my great-grandmother's country. She was taken off country when she was 7 years old. But as Archie Roach saying, we're the children coming back. And so I can welcome you here because of my historical, traditional connection to this place.
There's a few periods of artistic activity. There's some up to 1,000 years old, and then there's others that archaeologists say it's 10 to 12,000 years old. You know, it's ancient.
The traditional custodians of this place lived and thrived in these hills for tens of thousands of years, and what they left behind is a perfect record of their culture from long before the first Europeans ever hit Australian shores. It's a rare privilege to witness a place like this, let alone to film it. But Johnny and his people want to share their history with the wider community and the story of a people that thrived in these lands for millennia.
All these stick figures are depictions of my family, my people, my ancestors. That's why I can safely bring you here. Turtle, Nujay, Kuri Kuri, Barramundi. What'd you say you caught a 43 the other day?
93.
Oh, 93.
Yeah. The pictures on these walls play out like a diary for the people that lived here. A mix of stories, histories, messages and tribal records, endlessly added to and drawn over by generations of locals, and perfectly preserved on this protected stretch of rock.
Well, this is probably my, 11th, 12th time up the Cape. Seen some pretty impressive sights during those periods of time up the Cape, but nothing comes close to this. Johnny calls this a magnificent gallery, and he said he couldn't find a better word to describe it. He's right, this is truly one of the most incredible things I've seen anywhere in the world. The history here, the stories that Johnny's told us, what this depicts, and what used to be out here that's no longer but is slowly being clawed back. Oh man, just, gets you in the feels. This is just incredible, truly incredible. If you ever come up here, get in touch with this guy, and get out here and see this. Stuff the top of the Cape, come and see this. This is truly incredible.
If you want to see this place for yourself, and I suggest you do, there's a link to Johnny's tours in the description below. With tag-along options available, you can take your own four-wheel drive. For us, it's time to get back on the tracks, and the hardest sections of the old coach road are up ahead.
Well, there's a couple of different options here, a bit of a choose your own adventure. We're just having a quick look at this line, and this is the hardest of all the lines here. We're thinking maybe the Dirty 30, and of course, if I give it a go, you know he is. We're going to give this a little run. Look, don't underestimate this one. This is almost vertical. It's got a big rock step at the front. So what's going to happen is I think both front tyres might even sort of come up. Hopefully they come down the right way, not the wrong way. But you're a long way from home, so you don't want to do any damage here.
Now, there's a few other line choices on offer in this section if you're not in a twin-locked monster, although they're still not exactly easy.
He's not hanging around. Oh, he thought he was a winch truck for a second there.
Shaun, though, well, he's going for the big line.
Man, this is steep.
I'm a little bit nervous, I won't lie. I always am before I do something real steep and committing. But, I don't know, we built this truck for this sort of stuff. See how it goes, eh? Oh, this is loose.
Oh, it's going to be one hell of a drive. Have a go with this.
Yeah, it's steep.
Come on, Shaun!
Big wheel stand.
Big wheel lift.
Steep. I wouldn't want to go any harder than that.
That front, you were hardly moving and the front bounced up.
Yeah.
I wouldn't give it too much more mumbo.
I know, that was a medium go.
It might do a full wheelie.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it moved as well.
It really came up.
Yeah. Try hard left up there and crawl up. Yeah. Now straighten it up. And now hit it from there.
I don't like your chances, mate.
You'd have to commit properly, and I'm not about to do that today. So one more little look at it. Yeah.
How sketchy does that feel?
All of it. All the sketchiness.
That's proper steep,
Because
eh?
the front wants to go over.
That's proper steep.
Maybe I'll choose another line. Choose your own adventure within reason, they call this one.
It looks like this one might be just too much of a seat stainer for Shauno, and he's opted to live and let live this time with a beeline option.
Come on, Azza. You can do it.
Not hanging around. Do you want to Graham? Do you want to Graham?
Whoa! Here we go! Crikey Moses! You!
That was a couple of massive wheel lifts there. That was a full send.
Well, that's how you drive that line, boys. Straight up, like a rat out of a drain pipe.
You can tell that's a boss's car.
Yeah, exactly. I think you went back left, a little love tap. Yeah, I think. Have a look.
Sorry, Jimmy. But, chill buff out, mate.
You all right? Rubes, you're up.
One thing we know about Reuben is he never backs down from a challenge. He's decided that he wants to have a crack at the big line. The Y62 has the power, a long wheelbase and 37s, but I tell you what, it's still a huge ask.
I don't know my chances, to be honest. It's so steep. So steep. And I don't really want to be breaking a CV.
Well, Reuben's going to give the big boy line a go. Now, his disadvantage will be all the weight in the back. He's got about a tonne just over the back wheels, which is going to make it really sketchy going up here. But the other thing going to his advantage is a huge wheelbase. So his fronts will be up over the scary bit, hopefully, so he can just sort of jet the back up. And hopefully, if he commits to it, you might see half a show. But the cool thing is he's going to give it a go. All right, mate, bring this beast up here. Show us how it's done.
Well, I don't know about showing you how it's done, mate. I think I'm just going to have a nice little light go at it.
Alrighty, let's see what a light go looks like.
Sun's right in your eyes too.
Yeah.
Whoa! Oh, yes! Everything just went kapooey then, and then there was a little pff at the end.
Will I break the CV? Oh. Well, we gave it a red hot shot.
How much is broken, do you think?
Well, definitely a CV.
Yeah, we've done a
Maybe
tyre.
2 and a tyre. If he made it though, it would have been spectacular.
Oh, well. Time for some mechanical repairs. Well, I'll tell you what. I've never been in a car that's done a wheel stand that big. There's no way I was getting over that last hump. And I've popped a tyre and I'm going to have a look at some CVs. Should have taken the little boy line.
The Y62 runs CVs both front and rear, but at this point we're not entirely sure just how much is actually broken on the Patrol. First step is to get that tyre back on the bead so we can get the vehicle rolling and see how it drives.
Here it goes! Yeah!
Oh, hang on. What's that noise?
Is it on a rear something or other?
That rear's not spinning, eh?
I've broken CVs for sure.
A few broken CVs is not too much of an issue. We all carry spares and know how to change them. But soon it's clear we've got bigger problems. What's that?
Dust, is it?
Just dust, surely. Sure? That's smoke. That's smoke. Yeah, stop, mate.
Up! I knew there was big noises.
Oh, he's going to get out of this one.
Holy balls, yeah. That's a lot of oil.
It looks like the 62 has actually done a steering rack. We've seen this issue before on the new Patrols, and it's a big fix.
Yeah, she gone.
I was trying to diagnose this one and we thought it was a front diff. But then, of course, he drove forward and both fronts were spinning, so that usually indicates that he's got drive at the front. Had a bit more of a think about it, and it was actually power steering fluid, not diff oil coming out, which makes more sense now. It's better than a diff, to be honest with you. So at least it's going to be very tight steering. It's going to be like driving an old farm truck, but you'll be able to have full drive. And yeah, I think he's might have done a CV in the back as well.
I've done a left CV, which I thought with the twisted boot. Looks like trackside change for the CV.
Well, it changes things, that's for sure. Oh, smooth sailing until now.
The next step is to have a look at those rear CVs and replace what we can.
Well, have a look at that. I actually haven't blown the CV apart. I've actually snapped the shaft. I mean, that's unbelievable. That's just the torque and the power of a supercharged V8, I suppose, when you're trying to drive up stuff that you probably shouldn't be driving up.
With a new CV in, Reuben will have four-wheel drive again. But wheeling the big beast with no power steering will be a real mission.
Far out, mate. Well, you got drive back.
Yeah.
That's very important at this point of the game. Obviously, your steering is not power assisted anymore.
No,
so
it's Armstrong.
It's like the G60, mate. You're stepping back in time. This really is a historical track in many ways, mate. Obviously, that smoke, that's just
Power steering fluid
Power steering
leaking on the
fluid.
extractors.
yeah. Well, let's get those fire extinguishers nice and handy. You should be right. Just see how you go up this hill, and that'll dictate how it's going to drive for the rest of the trip.
Yeah. We'll limp her out, mate.
All right. We're taking Reuben up a fairly straight line option on the left, but soon it's clear that there's more going on with the vehicle than we bargained for.
Nah, something.
Nice.
Is that wheel driving?
There's more broken things. No, it's
No,
fine.
that front's working.
Is the rear diff not going? Despite everything, Reuben is still managing to make it up, but it's clear that the Y62 needs some major work. It could be more CVs, a transfer case, a diff, or even a combination of all three. But for now, one thing is clear. Getting off the track could be a mission. So, Rubes, what's the plan now, mate?
Well, I'm gonna have to limp it. I think I've only got 3-wheel drive. I've got no power steering. Look, we'll get through the old coach road. I'll get it to the bitumen.
Better yet, mate, we won't just get it through the old coach road. My shout when we get to Mount Carbine, mate, because something tells me we've got to do a full circle, and you've got to start what you're finished. And, you need to finish the beer I'll buy you when we get to Mount Carbine.
I can help you with that if you've got a problem with it. But we'll be right.
Sounds good to me. We'll get us through, mate.
Yeah, we'll get us through.
Right, let's go look for a campsite.
Front-wheel drive.
Let's do it.
At this point of the day, the best campsite is the one closest to you. And it turns out that the top of this hill has some flat ground that is going to make for a perfect impromptu camp. And Shaun's got a plan to lift everyone's spirits with a camp cook-up. So it's quite possible that our biggest dramas of the day are still to come.
Tell you what, I am frothing on this setup. Having now to set up my Y62 as well, very similar to this one here. If you've never set up your four-wheel drive before, you're not too sure how to make things work, then getting your 12-volt right can be one of the harder things to do. This man over here has all the answers. When it comes to 12-volt, mate, let's just say you've not really got a lot of experience out here.
It can be very daunting.
Very daunting and very expensive.
Yeah, and you don't know what you need.
Exactly.
So yeah, we've tried to simplify it for people. You know, offer a variety of packages. We've got 6 packages off the shelf basically.
Yep.
You're starting off just with a sort of more basic setup, just a 100 amp hour battery. You can still run your fridge, your camp lights off that sort of thing.
Yep.
And then, you know, if you want to get serious,
Top of the wazzer.
we got 200 amp hours of lithium power.
Lithium?
Yeah,
Yep.
solar, so you can, you know, almost have infinite power.
I'll be done. So
Yep.
there really is something in there for everyone, and all the customer needs to do is tell you what they want to run,
Yep.
and you'll tailor the package to them.
Exactly. Tell us your needs, what you're thinking about doing,
Yep.
and we'll point you in the right direction.
I like that.
Yeah, mate.
Cold beers, plenty of them.
Mate, always stocked up.
I'm going to go and finish mine. Let's get this fire going, eh?
Absolutely.
Done.
Let's do it, mate.
Well, this has been quite the day on the Old Coach Road, but what an adventure it's been so far. It doesn't matter how busted and broken your rig gets, a few beers, some good mates, and a cracking fire solves everything, and we wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
In the comments below, let us know if you've got one of those mates that, you know, you have all these plans, but they get foiled because they break their stuff. Maybe Nissan drivers, if you've got a Nissan driver, mate, just tag him in the comments below.
Settle down. We're very lucky. We're elevated here, big flat spot. Have a go at this sky. It's going to be a nice, cool night.
Kookaburras in the background.
We have too.
It's just a lovely night. And you know,
Lots of firewood.
The only thing that could make it a fracco better.
What's that?
What I've got planned to cook tonight is...
Oh, you said fracco better.
is actually really good. What we're going to try and do tonight is going to be really good.
I agree. You're a chameleon.
They're already laughing at me. I haven't even started. Anyway,
What do you got planned?
I'm going to go prep the stuff, mate. You just come and join me in a second. Bring a cold beer with you if you could.
Well, it's not the first time you asked me that, big fella.
Well, how good is this? We're on the Old Coach Road. Not the ideal campsite, mind you, but it's turned out just fine because all the boys are together. You've got a fire going, a couple of cold beers. I thought I would do the ultimate cook-up tonight. And you've come in at the best time possible because what I'm doing tonight, have a little squiz at this.
Oh, let me have a go
Have a slap, have a slap.
Oh.
Yeah, back. So what we're dealing with tonight, we're going to do a bit of a surf and turf. Now you're thinking, wow, we're a long way from the beach, right?
No, I get where you're going.
Yeah, Red Claw.
Yep.
We don't have many of them.
No,
we suck at catching Red Claw, but if you had heaps of them, imagine the feed you'd have.
It'd be great. We don't have that though. We have a
We
lot.
got a couple. We got a couple.
Can we first though explain to the folks at home what this is, because this is important.
Let me get it out.
It's actually taken us days to get this ready. To
Yeah,
be fair.
yeah. It
Out of
has.
the freezer
It
to
has.
get it to room temperature.
I had it for 1 second. I had it wrapped up in a towel, and now I sat it on the bull bar because I want this to get to room temperature.
Damn boy.
This is a rump cap. Everyone's going, oh, Scotch fillet, I fillet. You get the big expensive cuts.
Yep.
Nice and really tender, no doubt about it. However, if you're looking for pure taste,
Rump.
put it rump. Without a doubt. Put in the comments below if you don't agree with me.
Yeah, hit us.
Rump is the most flavoursome cut. I've got a whole rump cap here. Normally, you'd slice that down into steaks and you'd cook them normally.
Not tonight.
Not tonight. Because we're going a little bit fancy. Because we're going to cook this as one whole steak. First things first, let's get some heat. You want a lot of heat. So,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle.
just control that heat. Let's go right up.
Yeah, BTUs, brother.
Now, if you could do us a favour.
Yes.
Jump into my Coleman. I'll have a stick of butter that's about half empty.
Right.
And that's important because what we're going to do here is a different style of cooking. You see, we recently ran a bit of a poll on our YouTube channel and it was how to cook the best steak. I think we had 4 or 5 different methods of cooking steaks, but a lot of people said you missed one important thing, and that was the old sear. Fry it off in the pan first, chuck it in the oven, comes out really tender. I'm not mucking around. Oh, sorry.
Safety never takes a holiday, folks.
Close your eyes and you shut.
I've just been butted in the face.
I've actually had a fair bit of moisture build up in the back of the old. Oh. I was just going to open that up so I could.
That's how you salt it.
Too much salt. That is too much, to be honest with you. Yeah, now it's coming out better.
Now you're talking. You got rid of the blockage, I see.
Yeah, so what I'm going to do is put that straight in the pan. That's the sound you want, though.
There you go.
So now I can salt the top.
Is that the smell-o-vision? Woohoo! Wow!
Oops.
Safety!
Ready to flip. Look at that.
Yeah.
That's what we're dealing with.
Yep. That's what we're after.
With. While that's happening, I'm going to cut a couple of onions and then I'll just chuck in the pan. I'll show you why later. All right, mate, next step. Got the trusty baduri out. I'm basically going to grab these onions and I'm placing them down like this. Now, if you could be so lovely to chuck that right on the middle of all
How do
those
you want
onions.
it up, man? Do you want the fat up or the fat down?
Let's go to the fat down.
Whoa.
I know, it's controversial.
Because the fat up will leach through the meat.
Okay, fat up then. That's going to work out
Sorry,
better.
Chef, I'm sure you learned about that in chef school.
Chuck that over the top
Over
of
the top?
that. Yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
watch
yeah.
yourself. Safety never takes all of that.
Oh, you hear that sound? That is goodness coming through the sound. If you could smell what we smell right now.
Oh my God.
A couple of butter skews that's going to run down the side of it. That looks like an absolute dream. That is going on. Let's get some coals.
Yep.
I don't want it too hot. This is going to sit down for 45 to an hour. I reckon we'll check it at 45
I think so.
and see how it's going. Let's be honest here. Reuben and I, we are proven fishermen. We have
Seasoned.
We have caught a couple of really good fish in our life, there's no doubt about it, but when it comes to crustaceans...
Oh my goodness, I'm humbled. How do you do it?
Cherubim, red claw,
Beating us.
oh, yeah, they really have. And our best efforts is this. What I'm doing here, just going through the bottom of the carapace. I'm basically treating these like little lobsters. Righto, first things first, crust chili. We're gonna go a fair bit.
Holy
Scheisenhausen.
Holy Sir Smokenhausen.
That's gonna be nice and hot. Okay, we've got the red hot, ultra hot Frank sauce. Oh, I thought that was a squirt bottle.
Yeah.
I didn't squirt. That's a lot. There's one more ingredient to make this absolutely red hot. That is the ultra Tabasco. It's the habanero.
Why must you do this every time?
While that is super hot, I'm gonna grab these little red claw and they're going straight in. That is gonna be ultra cool.
It's going to be ultra hot.
It's gonna be really hot. It's gonna be really hot. Oh, those little red claw are glowing red. There's got so much chili. Graham, well, he had a tablespoon of this lethal mixture here. I'm gonna do some sweet potatoes.
Holy shizen, man.
Sometimes you put a lot of chili in and it's actually not that hot. In this particular instance, these little red claw, they're just little, they're like little devil crustaceans, these things.
I'm not eating one.
You wouldn't have your mates spitting.
Oh!
What is going on with this bloke? It is hot though. It is absolutely.
Double dare you to eat one of them. Look at that.
That's a little fire boy. It's like a devil.
What I did was, off camera, you didn't see it, I put a tablespoon of the sauce in my mouth.
Just a taste. Every cook needs to taste the
I
sauce.
just see what it was like.
A little bit of milk, not too much.
And that's why we work out, folks. That looks good.
Water.
I like the colour.
I want to grab the dory out. I think the steaks are just about done.
Yeah,
oh
boy.
my goodness, it's looking good.
Bring it up, bring it up.
We just want to make sure it's medium rare is the key. Look at that. That went in about over an hour ago.
Yep. How we looking, chef?
It's perfect, I think.
That is sensational.
I think that's cooked to absolute perfection, to be honest with you.
Look at that.
It's perfect.
That is divino.
We've got our crawfish on top. Our little red claw.
Yeah,
Boys,
mate.
have a look at the plate we're serving
I'll
tonight.
have a go with this.
Yeah, man.
Look at this one, Rubes. This has got your name all over it.
Thank you, son.
Black
Big
on
old-
top. Come on, you got to have a go of that. Oh my goodness.
Oh, man. Oh, that's
It's actually lovely.
I'm
Far
digging a
out.
hole tonight, boys.
That is
Chili fingers. Doesn't matter.
Woohoo!
It doesn't matter. That is absolutely sensational.
Yeah, that's
Boys,
next level.
sit by the fire, cold drink. What do you reckon, boys?
Oh, let's go.
Yeah, that is
Let's go.
I don't
that
do
is
chili like I once did.
sensational. That is so good.
We've got a simple mission today, and that's to get the Y62 safely off the track. But that could be a bit of a mission with over half of the track left to cover. Az has lifted the mood this morning with a campfire cook-up that'll put hairs on anyone's chest and should give all the boys plenty of go for the day ahead.
Yeah, grab us
Everything?
a bit of a snagger, risole,
sunny side up.
sunny side up egg, bacon. That is good. How good is that?
The sun is soon up and it's time to get into the day. And all being well, we could be back to the main road by the end of today, barring any further dramas. Camp is soon packed, folded and slotted away, and we're ready to make tracks.
Righto, Rubes, ready for a big day on the tracks, mate?
Yeah, mate. Got my old arms pumped up this morning.
That's good, mate. You're going to need every ounce of energy to steer that big bus through today. There's some, unfortunately, quite a few tight tracks to go and a fair few challenges as well.
Yeah, well, you know, this is what we all do it for. I made the mistake yesterday, gave it a bit too much bundy, and I got to pay the price. But hey, that's the fun of it.
Yeah, imagine if you're driving a Toyota, mate, you wouldn't have a drama in the world today. The birds will be chirping and the sun will be shining that little bit brighter.
I'll give you that one today, mate.
The rocks and ruts are never far away on this track, and around the next bend is quite the hill climb.
Here we go, one of the more major challenges on the old coach road. Can you imagine trying to take an old coach up this? Crying out loud. A couple of big rock steps on this one. I'm going to have to try and get me positioning just right here.
Up he goes. Up he goes. Like nothing. It's like nothing.
When you think about it, D-Max, we've not done a great deal to it, to be fair. I've got all my gear in it for 3-4 weeks out in the bush. But what's really made the most difference, I reckon, is getting that Fulcrum suspension completely dialed. It's been dialed into the weight of the vehicle, front and rear, and it just works so well, both off-road, obviously what I'm doing right now, and on-road. Its manners on-road is perfect as well. Getting your suspension dialed just makes the world of difference. You know it in racing, you know it across the board, in all motorsports, why not it be the same in four-wheel driving? That's why I think, anyway, I attribute some of these drives to my Fulcrum suspension. Just got it right.
The 30's got a suspension system underneath that is second to none. And it's no surprise that Shaun walks up this one easy as a Sunday morning.
That's too easy, mate. Too easy.
That with the auto, just crawls its way up.
Old coach road. How good is it?
I think this could be a little locker job on this one. Beautiful.
Oh, racer! Lovely done.
Nice and smooth. How we like it.
Reuben's got a real challenge on his hands with the Y62. With limited drive, getting through the rocks and ruts of the old coach is going to take extra effort.
Get some funny noises.
But loading up a damaged drivetrain also risks doing even further damage.
Sure enough, that car is not sounding healthy.
Reuben's made a wide choice here and opted for the winch as soon as the Y62 has lost traction. We're still not 100% on the extent of the breakages on the Y62, although we suspect that a few more of the CVs are on their way out.
Yep.
But even under winch, the big rig is not happy. I think your CV's clicking. That's what that noise is. Just this one.
You reckon I'll drive from there?
You should be able to drive all that.
As Reuben tries to take off again, it's clear there's some bigger problems underneath.
Oh, you're joking me.
Let's go back a foot. Keep going.
There goes the CV.
No, it's still turning.
Yeah, we got to get it out.
You might be better off just loading the Toyota up, just taking it up.
Yeah, because it's got drive. It just
Oh, it's got drive, but it's...
You want to try that?
Yeah, I think so.
Well, we don't want to break anything more, and it's making noises, and I'm just a little bit nervous of really pushing it, because if it does really bust itself in the old coach road, how do you get it out? So I think the plan is we're going to back the Mitts truck up to it, and we're just going to give it a bit of a helping hand just to tow it through some of the harder stuff and take all the load off the drivetrain.
Rightio, Rubes, here we go, mate.
The Patrol has also been occasionally losing drive, and it's likely that the problems extend to the transfer or the rear diff. But for now, at least it's on the move with a bit of help from a Land Cruiser, the big 79. Yeah, we ride the wave. Wheel it there.
Towing a car along a track like this is not something you do every day, but we're making some good progress up the track, with Reuben working on his guns at the back of the convoy. There's not a moment of downtime on the route though, with endless rocks and climbs to navigate, but that's why this track is one of the hardest in the Cape.
Flexing up all right. What a weapon.
Up ahead is our next big challenge. But this one is also a cool little bit of history as well.
Have a go at this, will you? Look at the workmanship that's gone into this. This is an old Chinese wall, probably built in the late 1800s, and this, I reckon, back in the day would have been so that they could get a perfectly smooth road up here for the old carts. That was in the late 1800s. There's been a fair bit of rainfall through here since then, and what we've got right now is a deep, rutted, and let's be honest, pretty gnarly track that no old coaches would have got on back in the day. But check that out, that's incredible.
Yeah, boy. Ride the wave, ride the wave.
Oh my days.
Oh, hit the tree, why don't you? Hey! Spectacular. Straight up. Gas it a little bit. Here we go. Well driven, well driven. Absolute textbook. Held on. This is a fun looking little bit of track. What a flexy little section with a bit of a step up at the end. Graham drove that like a boss in the D-Max. Big wheel lifts, but you know, he's got the experience to sort of follow that through nice and gently.
Now look, I get that following a D-Max line can be a challenge, but Shauno is not making it look easy. You got too much flex, mate.
Working.
Yeah, put your front locker on.
It's on.
Nah, she ain't working, bruh.
What about now? Oh, good, no locks.
You're gonna rip your mud flaps off. Oh, you're gonna pull your guard in under your tyre. Pin it! Just pin it!
Well, it wasn't pretty, but Shauno's made it through.
Now, this challenge would be a huge ask to tow another four-wheel drive up, so Az and Reuben have opted for an alternate route around the rock wall. It's a little smoother, but also a lot more steep.
Super spectacular.
Soon enough, the boys are struggling.
Yeah, it's going to be tougher than we thought, mate.
Yeah, it's that angle you're on. You need to probably turn your wheels around, so you might even be better off winching off the 79 and turn your front end around just so you can square up.
Well, if I just winch to that tree in front of me and pull myself around, and then Az can just drive up a bit, I should be right, eh?
Yeah, I reckon so. I'll come down and give you a hand.
Pretty gnarly little situation we've got going on.
This is where things get a little bit tough when you've got tight turns like the old coach road is famous for. Obviously the 79 pull is going to pull straight into that tree, so we're going to winch straight up there so he can get a better approach at this angle, and then Az has got to hit it and tow him up this pretty steep and shaly hill. Well, mate. It takes some strong arm steering, but it's worked, and the DMW rig is around the corner. That should do ya. That's it. That winching puts a fair bit of stress that front end, as you probably know, and the fuel. All right, Az.
What am I doing? Just sending it?
You will have to give it a little go.
That's quite the situation. Pretty much a dead weight at the moment. Hardly got any drive at all. Front's doing virtually nothing. Big, steep, shaly hill, dusty. Got their work cut out for them. Good luck, boys.
All right.
It's working really well. Very well done. I think 79's a workhorse. Upper.
And just like that, 7+ tonne of 4B are up the hill.
Yes!
That was next level.
There was dust going everywhere. As in back off, he drove it really, really well.
Well done, buddy. That's good. Right.
All the wheels are on the ground. That's a bonus.
There'll be some well-earned beers this over, I think.
There's still a lot of track ahead of us, but the boys have gotten into the groove and we're inching our way ever closer to the exit. It might be rocky, dusty and bone-breaking, but this country is just spectacular and we're loving every minute of it.
Perfect. Perfect. Oh, have a go. Have a go.
Here we go. Oh yeah.
Love a good tow. A great little tug.
After a long day on the track, we at last make it to the creek that signals the northern end of the old coach. And the going is now easy enough for Reuben and the Y62 to continue under their own steam. This track, I tell you what, it never fails to deliver. But this trip, well, it's been pretty darn epic.
Shauno, copy back there, mate.
Yeah, got you there, mate.
Mate, that's pretty much the old coach road, done and, pardon the pun, dusted as well.
Very dusted, mate, back here. But look, I've had an absolute ball. Been awesome doing a few new tracks we haven't done as well, mate.
As first time doing the old coach, first time in the Cape. What'd you think, mate?
Mate, I've had an absolute blast up here, mate. The old coach road, seeing all the history in Maytown there, just trying to imagine what it was like back in the day. It would have been tough, mate. I've had an absolute ball.
We'll go jump in the dirty 30 for a bit, mate, 'cause that thing's not much more than a horse and cart. Reuben, you haven't finished quite how you wanted, but it hasn't wiped the smile off your face, mate.
No, mate, no. It's pretty hard to wipe the smile off my face. That track was absolutely epic. First time on the old coach road, and we got to see all those other tracks as well. And look, the old Patrol, she's still driving. I just had to have a little bit of help to the top of some of these hills.
That is extremely good news, mate, because what I'm proposing is let's air up, get on the blacktop, and head down to the pub at Lakeland for a cold brewski.
Oh, mate, count me in. After the day we've had, boys, I think we all deserve it.
Yeah, bingo, mate. Very keen. I'll follow.
I am bloody keen.
Righto, let's kick up a bit of dust and get out of here.
It's a thirsty hour on the blacktop to make it back to Lakeland, and in the far distance, we can see the hills through which we've just been travelling. At last, though, we've made it to a little country pub, and some well-earned frothies are almost within reach.
Well, mate, Old Coach Road, from a new start in the south, all the way through.
We did almost the full loop as well.
We have, mate. We've done a big scoop back down again.
Yeah, and a bit of Old Coach Road in amongst that, mate.
Yep.
Never fails to disappoint. It's a tough little track. It's dusty. It's got big rocks.
Yep.
There's all sorts of weird lines you can take. It's easy, medium, and hard. It's almost a choose your own adventure.
You know, the funny thing is, I reckon right now, up in the Tally, which is where we're heading, it'll be streaming with cars. There'll be people everywhere.
Yep.
How many people we see on the Old Coach Road?
And I bet there'll be a stack of water up there too.
There will be a stack of water up there.
There was no one on the coach road.
Zero. That's it, folks. If you're coming up this way, do yourself a favour. We take it a bit slower than most, but you guys can get through it in one day easily if you wanted to. Beautiful campsites if you wanted to camp.
in the middle. I'd camp right in the middle, I reckon.
It's a good idea. But go and do yourself a favour. Have a look at the old history and the ruins of the old Maytown area up there, and have a look at the Old Coach Road. She's a cracker. For us, though, we are only just starting.
And
from here.
Best bit about this as well is we're about to ditch our cars.
Oh, these are not coming with us.
And we're going to take some old school cars up. I'm talking about the G60 and, of course, the farm truck. So we're going to do it in style. We've heard that there's stacks of water up there. So, guys, make sure you tune in because...
My seats are going to get wet, aren't they?
It's going to be all time, mate. I reckon you'll be lucky to be able to breathe in there because some of those water crossings are going to be pretty fun.
I'm frothing. I cannot wait. My arms are getting ready. Look at those guns, mate. No power steering. I'm in it, mate. We'll catch you guys next time up there. Cheers, mate.
Cheers, boys.
Cheers, boys. Cheers to you guys.
Folks, if you've enjoyed this show, please give us a like and subscribe to our channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss a moment. For now, though, it's time for the 4Wheel Drive 24/7 outtakes. Enjoy.
we go, one of the more major challenges on the old tally. It's not the old tally. I think it's interview time. See how fresh he is. Straight up, here we go. Mr. Shaun Whale!
G'day guys, how you going?
Going
My name's
well,
Shaun.
mate.
Yeah, very good. Power walk. Is that from my hand?
Yeah, mine are the same.
Oh, fine.
Just ransom.
Sorry, everyone. Yes! What a drive! Bit too much. Okay, I'll go again. How good was that? Okay, just in case that was even too much. Oh, that was all right.
If you're not sort of in the market for knowledge, if you're not listening to as many podcasts as Shaun Whale,
Search and rescue dogs. The handlers.
come on, bro.
Yeah, thank
You're
you.
better than this.
You'd have a little bit more going, yeah, boys.
Look at those guns, girls. All of you out there right now, you're watching this, your popcorn's getting all sweaty. Have a go at that, eh?
Four or five. No.
Saying to Jordan then how easy this is. Not. All you influencers out there, just never stop recording. Record everything, all day, every day. Record. Get content, put it online, become Insta famous. Do you need one of those to be an influencer? No, you don't. What do you need?
PovCam.
I'm gonna take my 30 to the big coach road. We're gonna ride till I can't no more. My name is Graham. I live on the second floor.
I don't. Single story.
Graham and I have struggled for years to catch.
Yeah, any sort of, can you give us some tips?
You caught some crabs once, but we don't need to go into detail about that.
I got that fixed up, bro.
This is nasty. He's nasty.